So you get a lot out of it. I think the series pretty much served its purpose, and although I wish there were more to do with these characters, I think they've, I mean, 6 years is a long time with characters, so I'm thinking, see, ER lasted like, what? Long time, right? Because it used a bunch of other characters. So the show didn't really last long because it lost everything except for its location, you know? I mean, sure, George Clooney came back for the finale, which I didn't get to see that. I don't even care for ER, but I watched Grey's Anatomy. And that, I'm just saying I would rather the show quit while it's ahead than go down a drowsy road, you know, where everybody's just like, okay, looking at their watch, because, like, you know, I got one of those cable boxes, you know, for Comcast, and the time's right up there on the TV. So it's like there's a tendency when the show's not, you know, getting well, like when you're in class or something at school, there's a tendency to look at the clock and be like, how much longer? I never, like, had to do that with Lost, except towards the ending, because it's like, oh, I wonder how much more it has to go, because I don't want it to be over in 10 seconds and leave me with a hell of a cliffhanger. So that, in that sense, I looked at the wall. But other than that, I was pretty much hooked on the show. With V, I'm looking at the clock a little bit, because, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's no Lost. Let's just put it that way. V is no Lost. And just because it's got that chick who plays Juliet, that don't make it Lost. So. But, you know, I knew that I had a feeling that the finale was going to end that way. You know, it's like you just open your mind to the biggest possibility of what could happen. You know, the most ridiculous and shocking thing that could happen. They did everything on that show. People dying when you least expect it. Anna Lucia just got shot for no reason. They didn't say anybody was going to die. They said that Shannon was going to die. They said someone was going to die on the episode where Shannon died. They said someone was going to die on the episode where Boone died. But, you know, they killed off 2 people who, you know, don't really count as far as one of these survivors will be lost forever. I remember the promos. It was all I could think about all that week. That was before I had a life. But I still carried Lost with me. I mean, really. Wow. Sorry, the TV's in my field of vision. Anyway, so it's like, you know, we pretty much saw every scenario. So it was like, we saw them get off the island, so that's not how the story's gonna end. You'd be bitching either way, okay? So you guys are really, you know, picky, and nothing's ever good enough for you. You know, you see a masterpiece and you want a masterpiece. Well, there's no such thing as a masterpiece, you know, and you can't hate people for, you know, not having a masterpiece. You know, it's just not right. You know, like, not right is not done. You know, it's just like not normal to do that. Or if it is, then, you know, that just, it's not fair, I don't think. You know, because Lost was a great show. It had a perfect ending, and it had a realistic ending, I think. You know, because when you have sci-fi and everything, you know, people can be mutants, people can be, you know, they can have powers, they can be a god, they can be a vampire, they can, you know, they can be a zombie. In this show, they kind of add the spiritual thing to keep it more in the realistic side. So they're no far apart than Grey's Anatomy is with the afterlife stuff, you know, Danny coming back and, you know, telling Izzy she's gonna die. It's kind of like that, you know. You put the spiritual, not supernatural, but spiritual in with it, and it becomes more of a afterlife thing. So all that stuff, you know, is like just a dream. And, you know, I just don't see how you can be pissed off with the thing, with the way it ended. I mean, I can see how you'd be, you know, kind of maybe a little not lost. You gotta get it. It's like Dark Knight. People didn't get that movie, okay? But when they did, it was great and they loved it. It's like that. You gotta know. You just gotta get it. You know, it's like the fish sticks joke. Just get it, man. Come on, man. Just get it. It's like that. So, you know, just get it. I mean, they were lost before they got there. They were lost before they got there. They weren't lost because they were on an island. The show was called Lost because they were lost on the inside. They were lost from within. They needed to be found. The island found them. They found each other. When you die, I mean, when you die, it's like you better have accomplished something because you only got one life to live, right? So it's like they were ready to let go because they had accomplished a lot and they were ready to, you know, to let go. And that's what the show was about, was letting go. And just, I don't know, on the one hand is supposed to let go, but on the other hand, Jack, you know, gets to say goodbye to his parents. But Sawyer had a chance to save his parents, technically, and chose not to. He said what's done is done, so he already knew what he was talking about letting go. So Sawyer was coming along faster than Jack was, in that sense. So, alright. To be continued, and this time I'm going to talk about the finale and go into detail about it and scene.